Nakuru town about a anti-corruption walk in that county. Evans Asiba, tell us a little bit about why they felt this walk was necessary at this time. What are the key issues when it comes to corruption affecting Nakuru County?
Thank you very much, Waihiga Maura, coming to you live from Nakuru County, where the Nakuru County Commissioner, Mr. Nkanada Joshua, in collaboration with the ESCC officials, they are ready to kick off the program of Mulika Hongo. This is a program whereby if you experience anyone or come across anyone asking for anything that is not in line of duty of his assigned duty, maybe in kind of corruption, you should immediately report. And this message goes on right to the more than 2,000 people across the country. And here with me is the Nakuru County West Deputy County Commissioner, Mr. Elim Shafi, who is going to talk to us to give us an insight of it, maybe what I expect during the official launching of the program. Kindly just, Mr. Deputy County Commissioner, Mr. Shafi, kindly tell us about the Mulika Hongo initiative. How does it work and since when, maybe, why are you launching it in Nakuru?
Okay, fine. My name is Elim Shafi, the Deputy County Commissioner, Nakuru Town West. Today we have a sensitization procession in Nakuru Town, all through the town, beginning from railway offices through Kenyatta Avenue up to Nyayo Gardens. And we have involved all officers of Ngao, Kenya Police, Administration Police, or the CID, anti-corruption officials, and all other departmental heads in Nakuru Town, East and West. We have been involved in Mulika Pombe, Mulika Uhalifu for the last 2 or 3 years, but we have now upgraded to Mulika Hongo. You realize that Hongo or corruption is one of the vices in our community, amongst the public officers, amongst the Mwananchi, and we have focused more seriously on Mulika Hongo this time, and we want to engage the members of the public and the public officers to ensure that nobody is involved in Hongo, whatever kind, however small or however big, nobody is involved in Hongo, and we want to tell members of the public to report all those who are involved, whether you are a public officer or a citizen, a normal citizen, or that is a raia. Anybody involved in Hongo to be reported, and Mulika Uhalifu, on Mulika Pombe, which has now converted. Maybe
just to cut you short briefly, tell us how does this work? Maybe what's the number like that maybe a civilian or anyone should send to the to report to, and how many people will be in a position to receive that text maybe?
Okay, Mulika Hongo initiative is under the command of my colleague in the ministry called Grace Wanjoy, and this initiative involves members of the public and public officers. When you see anybody involved in the vice, you send a text message 22068, and it will be received by well over 2,000 people in Nakuru and outside Nakuru, because our bosses outside Nakuru and even other counties will receive the message, and immediately we receive that message, we shall act without delay.
The Minister of Interior also received the same text, or just limited to some few individuals?
The Minister of Interior, right from the topmost, the Minister, the PS, all the senior officers in the ministry, in Harambe House, in Vigilant, in all the police headquarters all over, they received that text, 22068.
Maybe this is not the first time you are using this as a technique, maybe to fight corruption, and not just only in corruption, but also the idea of illicit brew. How does it work before? Maybe was it effective? How did maybe the locals receive the information?
I want to tell you and tell Kenyans that the Mulika Hongo initiative will work, because this initiative has worked for us in Mulika Uhalifu and in Mulika Pombe. So we want to ensure that Mulika Uhalifu, Mulika Hongo works, because in the few years, recent 2 or 3 years, we have used this initiative to deal with Pombe, and we have reduced Pombe quite a lot throughout the country. And also Uhalifu, when we receive information through this forum, our police officers act very fast. And this time we want to use the Muliko Hongo initiative to see that we also reduce Hongo amongst our society.
Maybe tell us what the number that one should send the text.
Okay, if you receive, if you see ukiona, ukisikia, ukishuku, you report 22068. And then that message will be received by very many people, and we shall act immediately.
You are parting shot on the same, today being your day. What do you say?
My parting shot is that the uhalifu ambayo inatokana na hongo, it is a two-way traffic. We, the members of the public officers, we shall ensure that we are not involved in that fight. I want to call upon the citizens of this country to help us fight hongo, so as we are a hongo-free society. Thank you very much.
Wahiga, as you have heard from Deputy County Commissioner Mr. Elim Shafi said, he has just said that maybe it is not just an initiative to help only Nakuru County, but the entire country, whereby one should report on 22068 in case you find anything suspicious that indicates kind of corruption, and those in a position to receive the same message are not just only Nakuru officials, but starting from the minister in charge of Interior, that's Dr. Fred Matiang'i, plus the PS and all the security details, and ESCC official from the director to everyone. From Nakuru County, much will be coming to you more, will be giving to you more details in the entire program before the end of the day. From Nakuru, I'm Evans Asiba. Back to you, studio.
Thank you so much, Evans Asiba. Interesting technique there, using technology to fight corruption. Let's see how that will go. Curious to see how investigations on allegations made on that SMS line will be carried out. Now, from Nakuru County, I want to take you to Nyeri County, where Martin Munene is on standby. He wants to talk a little bit about administrators in the county government who say they have been victimized by county governments, especially when new regimes come in. To give us more details now is Martin Munene. Martin, talk to us about the challenges that these administrators face and what can be done about them.
All right, Wahiga Maura, a very good morning to you, Wahiga, in studio from Nyeri County. And like you rightly put it, we're coming to you live from this particular county. And today we're looking at county administrators, and not just in Nyeri County, but across the country. What has happened, Wahiga, is that these administrators have come together and formed a union so that they can be able to champion their rights when it comes to their working conditions, especially with county governments. Wahiga, it's important that I say that county administrators are the equivalent of what we have as the provincial administration in the national government. And so the responsibility of administrators basically is to ensure that the functions of the county executive, which is the governor or the governor's office, actually reach to the very grassroots. We have village administrators, we have ward administrators, we have sub-county administrators, and also county administrators. And so I'm going to be speaking to the Secretary General of the newly formed Union of County Administrators to help us understand what they hope to achieve, and also give us insight into some of the challenges that these administrators have been facing. Of course, we have seen some of them go to court after they were fired by governors who came in, especially after the new election. And so they are hoping to be able to have a voice so that in subsequent years they can be able to talk and negotiate with governments that are coming in. Bona Secretary General, kindly introduce yourself and help us understand what are some of the major challenges that administrators have been facing, and who are administrators basically.
Good. Thank you, Martin. My name is Gabriel Wamutito. I'm the current Secretary General of the Kenya County Administrators Union. Basically, this is a new union that has been formed of late, having come out from a union of administrators across the Republic, and we found it fit to have a union to address some of the labor challenges that we have.
And what are some of these challenges that administrators have been facing?
This being a new system, having been in place after the last general election, the pioneer governors, through the structures of the county government, employed the county administrators, basically the sub-county administrators, the ward administrators, and the village administrators. And this one became a replica of the national government. So after the last general election, where the pioneer governors, most of them exited the system, we had challenges by the incoming governors, where labor issues were a problem, and most governors thought that the previous administrators were a crop of political activists of the former governors, and thereby now courts start cases in court start coming up. And that is how we have come to realize that a union would be the best place to address the labor issues.
All right, and the concerns that the governors have been raising include that as an administrator, probably given work by a previous regime, you may not be loyal, and that you can be actually be in a position to sabotage some of the projects that they would be able want to implement in the villages, sub-counties, and other levels. What is your take on that?
I want to let you know that this was a profession. And it was a recruitment done by the County Public Service Board, but not through the governors. So the current administrators that are there are a crop of have a professional background to work within those counties as administrators. So this one does not necessarily come over as a political gain. It was through competitive recruitment by the County Public Service Board.
All right, let us talk numbers a little bit. I want you to tell me how many administrators do we have across the country, and also can you tell us a bit how many have been affected, for example, how many have been fired and things like that?
Currently we have 1,450 wards in this republic. Those are elective wards, and that translates to 1,450 ward administrators, although Machakos and Murang'a counties do not have ward administrators. But basically, we have we have a maximum of 1,450 ward administrators. We have around 279 sub-county administrators in the republic, and over 2,000, if all of them are employed, village administrators. So totaling to over 4,000 administrators who are being affected by these labor issues.
And what counties can you give me specifics of counties that have actually, we have seen challenges when it comes to relations between the new regime and administrators, kindly?
The county that I come from, Nyeri, was the first to be affected, and we went to court. We successfully fought the case in court, and we were given the permanent and pensionable status. We have Bomet. I understand Bomet, they are still at home. Taita Taveta is still struggling with the contract. It ended, and they are struggling in court. And we have West Pokot, I think, who have been at home for quite a number of months as a compulsory leave, and others that are still struggling. We have Kiabu. So basically, especially where the new governors came in, we have some problems in the administrative structures.
Okay, and maybe my last question would be, what exactly do administrators do? For most of the people, of course, do not know it. Like you said, it's a new system. What exactly is your role as administrators in the county governments?
The county administrators, I said from the word go, is a replica of what we have in the national government, where we have the deputy county commissioner in the national government. In the county government, we have the sub-county administrator, where we have the assistant county commissioner. In the national government, the formerly DOs, is where we have the ward administrators. Chiefs and assistant chiefs, in that order, we have the village administrators. So county administrators are involved in the devolved functions of the government, of the devolved functions in the constitution. An administrator, county administrator, cannot work in the security docket simply because the security is not devolved, but is comfortably there in the health and agriculture sectors because those are devolved functions. So basically, the county administrators are involved in day-to-day activities of the devolved functions in that constitution. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Wahiga, like you've heard, the role of the county administrators and their plights, and maybe what they're doing to ensure that that trend changes. And of course, it will be interesting to see as successive governments come in, whether we're going to see this power play continue, or we're going to see these administrators, like for example, the Nyeri ones, get that status that they're permanent, they're pensionable. And so, I had asked earlier, there has been that question of loyalty, but he says that these are professionals who've been employed through the County Public Service Board, and therefore their loyalty is to not to the governors or to the people who are elected, but basically to the board that elects them, or to the people that they are actually appointed or contracted to serve.